What's up, guys? So, I have been gone for a long time. Let's just say that, some months. I have had the baby. He's eating right now, my little stinky butt. But I guess I just want to give y'all a little, I want to give y'all a C-section update because I did end up having a C-section. I have been recovering. It's been about a month now. On the 30th or whatever the last day of the month is, it'll have been a month since I had him. And, a month since I had my C-section. So, yeah, let me just tell you guys, that first week is so painful. Like, it is so painful. And the hardest part about it, the first week was hard no matter what. But when I tell you, one thing that made it harder was the fact that I was breastfeeding. Like, that made it so much harder. So much harder. Because I'm trying to get him to latch. I gotta get up. I'm the only one who can feed him. All while I just got cut open. And it was an emergency C-section. So, pretty much, I'm not gonna, explain the whole thing as far as, what happened with my labor. The whole story. Because that's gonna be for my labor and delivery story. But I will say, his heart rate started to drop as he was coming out. He was almost out. I had no epidural. I was pushing him out, and his heart rate had started to go down. So we tried to use the vacuum to get him to come out by himself, so we didn't have to do surgery. But that didn't happen. So we got him out from a C-section, and I woke up. Oh my God, I can't tell you guys how happy I was to see him. Because the first thing I was worried about when I woke up was if he was okay. That's all I was thinking about. I didn't even think about the fact that I actually woke up. I was okay. All I was worried about was if he was okay. But, so first night home, honestly, it was so hard. And then, AJ being a new dad and stuff, let's just say it was rough. The very first month has been pretty rough. I have been recovering. I had these things called suture tape. That's what they call it. I had that over my incision over my incision area. And I went to my 1 month postpartum appointment yesterday because normally it's 6 weeks, but since I had a C-section, they wanted to see me in a month. So I seen my midwife. And, she took my stickers off my incision. You cannot even tell I had a C-section. You can't even see them. You cannot even see the scar. It's, so amazing. I'm, astonished. I could not believe what I was seeing, that you can't see a thing. It's just gone. They did such a good job. I'm, very happy. I'm very, very happy with how the doctor did on my incision. And it was an emergency C-section, so I thought maybe it would make a difference in my scarring. There practically is no scarring. None. Nada. And she told me that when 8 weeks comes, I can start working out again fully, using my abdomen. Right now I can work out, but I have to isolate everything when I work it out. I can't do a full body workout or anything right now. I'm not allowed to run. Yeah, I would say it was hard getting a C-section, but what definitely made it harder was breastfeeding, because like I said, I'm the only one who could feed him. I have to get up all night. It feels like I'm up every couple hours feeding him. But now that he's a month old and he's starting to get bigger and he's really good at latching now, we don't have any problems with that. Like we kind of did in the beginning. We had a couple issues with that. But let me know if you guys want to hear about more of my C-section information, or if you guys want to know about my journey with breastfeeding him. Because to be honest, I will say, if you're planning on breastfeeding, I would say, I don't think it would have helped me if I would have like asked people about it beforehand. Besides two things. The two things I could say that might actually help you with breastfeeding if you're trying to, just as like a little side note for this video, is there's this thing called nipple shields. Don't use them all the time because your baby will get used to it, and you're not gonna want to put a nipple shield on every time you have to feed your baby. So only use it sometimes to kind of get them used to latching and, you know, looking at where they're latching at and knowing this is where they eat. And another thing to get them to kind of go from the nipple shield down to the regular nipple is, this is like if you have flat nipples too, actually. There's this thing, it's like a little suction cup that you use for your nipple to make your nipple like poke out more so that they can kind of feel it with their mouth. Because when you have flat nipples, your baby can't really tell where they're supposed to suck to get the milk. So the little suction cup helps with getting your baby to understand where they're supposed to be eating, like where they're supposed to be sucking at to eat. So that's the advice I could give you. And I know everybody says sleep when the baby sleeps, but when you're a new parent, I would say the first month is probably the hardest. You're adjusting to them, and then, you know, we're recovering, especially if you had a C-section or if you had any complications. It's hard. It's definitely hard. But, you know, he's doing really well. Very, very well. I'm doing a lot better. I really don't feel much pain anymore. I don't really feel any pain besides a little bit of soreness. But besides having a little bit of soreness in the incision spot and I don't know, just like the small things that I'm not supposed to do still, like I'm you know, not supposed to be doing hard, you know, super intense workouts, things like that. But, you know, besides that, everything's pretty much back to normal for me. You know, I can't wait to start working out. Before I got pregnant, I always wanted to gain some weight, never could. Now I gained too much weight. So I've lost 35, almost 40 pounds since I gave birth too. So that's really good. Oh, there's AJ with the groceries. Well, I was about to wrap this video up anyways, so that was my little C-section update for you guys, or C-section video. So, love y'all.